We are so glad you're back with us on Wealth by Design. Brad Johansson along with Tom Elder, President, Retirement Wealth Design. Thanks for being with us. Tom, nice to be back with you, bud. You good?
Oh, never been better, Brad. It's
never been better? This is the best you've ever been.
Family's healthy, clients are doing well, my marriage is flourishing. It's a good day, man.
You know what? I can't refute any of that. If that's where you are, we hope you are never better than you are today. And if so, and we can make it a little bit better, we're going to try and do that with this whole retirement thing, because it's good to be self-aware, right? Have an understanding of who we are, where we're going. Tom just reeled off the whole list of why he is in a really good spot. I wonder whether you're self-aware with where you are financially. And that's what we're going to kind of try to attack a little bit today, because risk ends up being really heavy on most of us through retirement. So let's go to self-awareness. People come into the office, whether they've seen us on TV and they go, Tom, I'd like to talk, or somebody's referred them, or they're just coming off the street and I'm getting ready to retire. How self-aware are they with the risk that they're facing? Do people know the risks that they're facing in the stuff that here's my stuff, here's my portfolio, here's what I've got? Or do they know what risk they're facing?
Sometimes they have an idea. So financial planning for retirement is really 5 different areas. It's income, it's investments, it's taxes, it's healthcare, it's legacy. Oftentimes you focus on work your whole life. So this is kind of taking a back burner. And so you're not self-aware of it. Sometimes people have an idea of 1 or 2 areas. I can't say that I've ever met somebody that has all 5 areas covered.
Okay.
And so you tend to focus on the important things and kind of forget about the things that aren't as urgent. The problem is that urgency doesn't necessarily align with important. So there's 3 phases of retirement. There's 3 phases of financial planning. There is the accumulation phase. It's when you're growing, it's when you're working. And most people, especially when they come to sit down with me, that's where they have focused their entire lives on.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah, you grow, you save, you accumulate, you try to build as big of a mountain as money as you can possibly build, right? And that's good. We want that.
Yeah.
And then we get to the preservation phase, which is when you're getting close to retirement and it's trying to keep what you have. You still want to grow, but losses start to hurt you more than gains help you. And so it's about growing your money, but growing in a protected, purposeful, intentional way.
Okay.
And then there's the distribution phase, when you start getting the paychecks from yourself, when you're not counting on the employer money coming in, when now you turn your assets into income, when you turn your savings into your spending money. And all 3 phases require different strategies for investments, different strategies for taxes, different strategies for legacy planning. And so we really need to wrap all of this together. And so you asked me about awareness. What I just covered, no, people aren't aware of, because it's a profession. It's kind of like I had my roof put on recently with the hailstorms and such. I had to get a new roof, right?
Yeah.
Can I hang a shingle? Sure. Can you choose a mutual fund to invest in? Sure. However, if I were to hang the shingles on my house, guess what? Next storm, I don't have a roof anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to live there.
And so that's why I hire a professional. That's why I work with a professional to do that, is because I want to make sure that it's safe and secure, and it's allowing my family to grow and flourish inside that house for the next 25, 30 years. And that's kind of when it comes to investing. It's a similar mentality. Can you do it? Yeah. Does it help to get a second opinion and see, hey, is my advisor missing something? Am I doing all the things the way that I should be doing? What phase am I in, or what phase should I be preparing for? And what can I do to help prepare for that? That's all that we do. It's on paper, it might look complicated, But at the end of the day, it's pretty simple. These are the 3 different phases. How do we focus on those for you and your situation? And you just leverage our experience.
Isn't it interesting that you're saying most don't have it all covered? Do most actually have an understanding? Because I think it's fair to say, correct me if I'm wrong on this. I'm gonna guess. 7 out of 10 people walk into your office already have an advisor or already had an advisor.
Yes.
Fair?
Absolutely. Fair.
Okay. But they're walking into your office for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Do I trust who I've been with in this accumulation phase?
Mm-hmm.
I'm walking into preservation stage. I've watched, and she never said any of this stuff to me.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't tell me I had to worry about taxes. Wasn't talking about a Social Security strategy. Didn't talk about the risks that I have, and I really don't know what I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
Why have we done people such a disservice in the financial industry if 7 out of 10 of those are walking into your office this way and going, please help, it didn't work, and I've got to retire, I can't do this anymore, please tell me I can. What's wrong with the system if that's what we're in right now?
Well, part of it comes from just a lack of clarity. I mean, when you have 10, 15, 20, sometimes I've seen up to 100 mutual funds and all these different accounts, you have no idea what you own. You don't know the stocks that are inside of there. You don't know the investments. It's hard to tell how it all fits together. But I will also tell you, I just had somebody the other day that they had an advisor just like you're saying. And what happened was they just wanted a second opinion. They're getting close to retirement. They know this is really, really important. They saw this show and they had some questions. And so they came in, we sat down. I put together a complimentary plan for them, and because I put together the plan, then I was able to give some fiduciary advice and some questions to ask because they've been with their advisor for a very long time. And what I told them was, I think you should go back to your advisor. I think you should go back to your advisor and ask some of these questions, and they might already have the plan put together for you. But you should see. And the only reason that they came to me was they wanted a second opinion, and guess what? That's what I gave them.
Yeah.
Was a second opinion. And that's what I want for you. This is a very important decision. This is a very important time, and you only want to retire once, right? And so it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion. It doesn't hurt to ask some more questions. But you might not know the questions to ask. And the only way that I can tell you exactly what questions to ask for your situation is to go through it with you. And I'll give them to you. And then you can go and you can ask questions to your advisor, because sometimes, like for this person, so far what was together was actually a really good spot. Like their advisor balanced their portfolio appropriately. There were some things that I think they could have been doing a little bit better, but whether or not there was a reason that they weren't, that's what I wanted them to go talk to their advisor about, because at the end of the day, a change can be a little uncomfortable. Forming that new relationship can be a little uncomfortable. And so if you're close, right, and maybe there's just a few tweaks that need to happen, all it's going to do is make you in a better spot than you are today. And that's my goal.
Honesty, novel concept. Maybe just trying to do something that's best for you. And maybe that's at the other end of this phone call. 833-348-4813, not selling anything. As a matter of fact, it's a complimentary written financial plan. And maybe that plan is go back where you were. Tell your brother-in-law he's just a little bit off on this, or whatever that may be. The idea is what's best for you. And maybe it is just a second opinion. 833-348-4813. Interested in getting better? You can scan the QR code for an appointment as well. But do it now. You're watching for a reason. Make the reason about making your retirement the one that you want. Tom talks about freedom all the time. Don't you want the freedom to know I can do this and it's going to last? We'll talk more when we return.
Our entire vision for our growth at Retirement Wealth Design is to keep a personalized experience, to know every single person that we work with, but to bring into the fold
other people that fit our culture, that care about the community, that care about the individuals, and that are the absolute best at their role that they can be. We want to make an impact in our community, and the first place that we start is making an impact in our team. So one of the things that we promote within our company is our own financial literacy and understanding. And then we try to promote that throughout the community. We want to be a pillar within our community. And I think that from a servant's heart perspective, our impact starts with us internally. And if we can serve our team is going to serve our clients, who are also going to serve our community.
Glad you're with us. Wealth by Design, Brad Johansson, Tom Elder. I hope you get this feeling. I want you to get the feeling. This is a different program. This feels different for whatever reason. And maybe it doesn't, but that's the goal, is that this isn't just, okay, we're going to try and sell you something, because it's not. It is the idea that we want to try and make your retirement better, because this is emotional. So let's go into behavioral finance, if we can, for a minute, because man, it happens to all. This is a big change. I'm done working. I want to be done working. But emotionally, when I'm done working, that's what I did. That's who I am. That's what I was. That's how I defined. Hi, I'm Brad. This is what I do. Right? Now it's, hi, I'm Brad. I'm retired. How do you figure in is it important to figure in this behavioral finance of psychology that your life's about to change in a big way, and we can do this with the numbers and the math works, but that has to do with a lot of emotion of a new phase of life for us?
So I will tell you, this is huge. In fact, I recently came out with a book. It's called Retirement Wealth by Design. It's 8 chapters. 2 of the chapters are just simply the psychology of retirement. It is that important.
I'm holding up as you're talking so that I can even show that. If you guys want the book,
Yeah.
I stole his copy.
Scan the QR code.
Yeah, if you want to scan the QR code.
You can scan the QR code. I'll give you a free copy.
All right. Go. Tell me why you did this.
It is so important. So psychologically speaking, I feel like a big part of my job is counseling. All right. And it's because retirement is stressful. Going from having a paycheck, having an identity, having something to do every single day to not is stressful. Now, there are certain tools that I have found that can be useful. There's certain strategies that I found that can be useful to help somebody turn that corner of working to not working. And don't get me wrong, for some people it's easy. For some people it's easy in the beginning and then it gets hard. 70% of retirees say that it's the happiest time of their entire life. However, 30% that means don't.
Yeah.
There's this trend called unretirement. Unretirement now, of the people age 65 and above that are currently working, 46% of them actually have retired at one point or another. And so they've gone back to work. And it comes down to purpose. What is your purpose? Where do you find that purpose? Do you have something to do? Do you feel like you're making an impact? Because when you retire, you tend to lose relationships. You tend to lose that daily calendar and schedule. You tend to lose that goal setting and achievement that we get. You tend to lose, like you said, your identity. And so that's why there's 4 stages of retirement. But let me just paint a picture for you. Let's say that you are one of the people that ends up getting a retirement you were looking forward to, or you were excited about it, and then all of a sudden you get past that vacation stage and you get into the depression stage of retirement. How much worse is that depression going to be if you also don't feel comfortable with your financial plan?
Ooh.
Right? But if you have a good financial plan, right, and you understand it and you have clarity and you have confidence, and then you lose your sense of purpose, now all you have to do is focus on finding that sense of purpose, because you know financially you're okay. So now you can go and you can try new things. And if they don't work out, that's fine. You're financially secure. So you can go try volunteering at church. You can go try working the golf course. You can go try getting on the board of directors for your local park. You can go try these different things. And if they don't work out, financially you're going to be fine. And so you can focus on the important stuff. You can focus on that freedom aspect. You can focus on exploring what your purpose is. And that's the third stage. And then once you find it, that's why 70% of retirees say, hey, this is the best time of my entire life. Because you're living on purpose, you have the freedom, and you can do what you want, how you want, with who you want, when you want.
I mean, it's so clear in the idea. We do ledgers, and I think maybe there's an emotional budget, because I always say budget's a four-letter word that we do not like to speak. But we get into this retirement, and for you to put together an income plan for a lot of people, you need the necessities. All right, what do you need? What's going out? So we need to make sure that that's coming in. But there's another side of the ledger on what do I want my lifestyle to look like? And maybe even in that ledger of what do I want it to look like, when it comes to fruition, we go, that is not what I want. I thought this was what it is. So this becomes a flexible plan to say, what if that isn't the lifestyle that you like? And what is, when I stop being who I am, and I'm going to become this person, and I thought that this is what it was, I love that you say, okay, maybe it didn't work, but financially you're okay. So let's try a different side of this ledger on the lifestyle to see whether or not there is a different purpose for this, but the math is going to make it happen.
Yeah.
I love that idea.
So it's really interesting. One of my favorite, so there's different styles that we can do when it comes to designing income plans. Our process is very, very customized and tailored, meaning that out of all the different styles to set up retirement income plans, we pick the one that's the best for you and we explain it to you, okay? Because there are some that are better than others. One that I absolutely love is exactly what you're talking about. It's allowing for additional flexibility. I get the question sometimes, so how much can I spend? How much can I afford for my new, I just had a lady that I work with, that I've been working with for a very long time. Tom, I'm putting a new floor in. How much can I spend on the new floor? Oh, I want to do the bathroom. How much can I spend on that one? Oh, Tom, by the way, I want to head to this other country. How much can I afford to do that? And number one, what that tells me is she truly feels like I'm in her corner, because I am. She has somebody that she can ask. She has somebody that can give her advice. She has somebody that can give those guardrails. But for her plan, what we built was specifically to have these guardrails, meaning that we have her lifestyle expenses like locked down solid, meaning that for the rest of her life, she's going to be able to live the lifestyle that she wants to live, meaning that she can spend her monthly amount in accounting for inflation for the rest of her life. And she has longevity in her family nonetheless. But we're only using about 60% of her money to achieve that lifestyle, which means the other 40% is totally flexible, which means that the other 40%, she can put the hardwood floors down. She can go to Germany if she wants to. She can remodel the kitchen if she wants to. And so we have kind of guardrails for how much can she spend each year, make sure that it doesn't run out. But no matter what, even if she spent through everything over here, her lifestyle is going to be there for the rest of her life. And I love putting plans together like that, because that allows somebody to then explore, that allows somebody to then go spend their money freely and not having to worry about looking at the check at the end of the night when you go out to a restaurant and wondering, is this breaking our budget too much? Like, that allows you to not have to think twice about finances.
Invite them in for a plan.
Come on in. Come on, like Brad said. Let me invite you in for a plan. Look, at the end of the day, if you call our number here at the bottom of the screen, you're going to get somebody on my team. They're going to schedule some time to meet with us, and we're going to sit down and we're just going to ask some questions. And you're going to ask questions of us, and we're going to answer those questions. And we're going to be very transparent with you, because this is a really big choice. This is a really big decision. We're not here to sell you anything. We're here to help you. And if we can help you, we'll tell you. But no matter what, you're going to leave better because you sat down with us. We're in Chesterfield. It's a very easy trip to get off the highway to our office. And I'd love to sit down and talk with you, because our entire goal with this business is to make an impact, and we want to make an impact for you.
So make the call, 833-348-4813. Do that right now. We'll talk about what your legacy looks like when we return.
How I got in the financial space was really based off my grandfather. My grandfather grew up in poverty, Great Depression, like a lot of people. He taught me that a full life is not about what you have, what you drive, what's in your bank account. The purpose of life, how to have a full life, is serving other people. I grew up in a great household, had a great dad that taught me a lot of lessons about work ethic. One of the biggest lessons he taught me was if you're going to do a job, do it right or don't do it at all. But my grandfather really instilled in me the servant's heart mentality. When I got old enough that I finally realized I could have an impact on the community around me, that I was given gifts that could be used to serve others, one of the people that I started with was my dad. My dad was a great father, father of 4, worked his whole life, sacrificed for us. One of the areas that he told me that he had always struggled with and struggled to find good advice was finances. So when I realized that I had a gift for finances and that I could actually help those around me, I started with him. And he was one of my very first clients ever. And he still is today, and I'm proud to say he's successfully retired. Helps take care of my kids now. But that's how we treat everyone that we work with. We try to serve those around us because at the end of the day, that's why we're here.
It's as simple as that. That's why we're here. Wealth by Design, to serve others. And that's the reason we're here with you today. And I'll leave the phone number up because sometimes it takes a nudge to say, I know I should do this, but I haven't done it all right. I haven't figured it out. Take the time today. 833-348-4813. Costs you nothing. Doing nothing will cost you. Complimentary written financial plan. When I left saying, we talk about a legacy, and I think this is common for a lot of people. I don't have a legacy. There's not much I have. I have a house, I have a car, I have some land. I'm not going to be able to leave a whole lot to anything. Redirect thought on what people have and what the legacy is and why planning for a legacy now should be included in a retirement plan rather than a tail wags the dog kind of thing at the end. I got to write this up because I'm dying and this is what I'm going to leave kind of thing.
Oh, everybody needs a legacy plan. Everybody needs an estate plan. It is not for the wealthy, right? Whatever you think wealthy is. And don't get me wrong, it is for the wealthy too, but that's because everybody needs one. There's just different tools that are involved based off of your situation. And the tools aren't necessarily based off of the amount that you've accumulated. The tools are based off of the situation that you have. And so, yeah, we need to plan for, is your house going to pass easily, efficiently, and with control? Is it going to avoid probate? Right? How about the cars? Are they going to avoid probate? How about when you're still alive, as part of your legacy plan, we're going to want certain documents in place. Powers of attorney. They're hugely important. Powers of attorney come into effect when you're still alive, and you're going to want both medical and financial powers of attorney. And that designates somebody to make the decisions on your behalf. Otherwise, it falls back to state law. You're going to want advanced healthcare directives. Regardless of how much money you have, you don't want to leave some of these decisions up to the people that have loved you for 20, 30, 40, 60 years and have to make some of the most difficult decisions ever at the end of life. You don't want to leave that. You want to have that written out on what your wishes are. And so these are all very important. Now when it comes to legacy planning, not only is this important and having access and being in control of it, but it's also how do things pass efficiently and smoothly and avoiding probate. And how do we maximize it? Because when it comes to retirement planning, at the end of the day, if you do it right, you're going to leave a legacy. Meaning there's going to be money that you need now. There's going to be money that you're going to need later. But there's going to be a bucket of money that you didn't spend because you don't know how long you have on this planet. And so we have to plan for you not running out of money. So there's going to be that bucket of money left over. And the question becomes, do you want that money, 60 or 70% going to your loved ones and then the rest going to the IRS? Or do you want to try to maximize as much as you can of the money that you worked your entire life for going to your loved ones or charitable organizations or whoever you want it to go to, maximizing what goes to them and limiting what goes to the IRS? because the laws change regularly, the limits change regularly, how we do this changes regularly. And so one of the things that we counsel on is both the legacy planning from a financial perspective, but also just an independence perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's so important. It's so important. Everybody watching this, you should have some type of an estate plan in place. And if you don't, give me a call. 833-348-4813. I'd be happy to talk through your situation. And once I understand, kind of like going to the doctor, I'm going to ask some questions to get your health history. I'm going to ask some questions to get your financial history, right? But then based off of that, I'm going to be able to give you some advice and point you in the right direction too for what's next.
Very quickly, because we're asking people to call to put together a complimentary written financial plan. What's it look like? When I make the call and I come in for a flight, what am I facing? What does it look like? What am I signing up for?
You're signing up for a conversation, some free advice. That's what you're signing up for. You're signing up for walking into an office that is intentionally built to feel like home. We've got a fireplace. We're gonna have fresh baked cookies for you. We're gonna offer you something to drink, and we're gonna sit down. We're gonna have a very casual conversation, and I'm gonna give you very candid advice. You're signing up for no charge. You're signing up for somebody that's entire mission and goal is to leave you better off because you sat down across the table from me. There's no commitment that you need to make. My goal with this entire show, my goal with this business is to try and educate and inform, because this stuff is tough. And this stuff, there's a lot of decisions to make. And I want to make those decisions easier for you. I want to make those decisions more impactful for you so you understand how you can do the right things the right way.
Do something for yourself. Make the call. 833. At some point, I'm going to call. One day, I'm going to make the call. Make this day one. 833-348-4813. Man, I wish I would have done this sooner. Let's put together a complimentary written financial plan. Man, spend some time on yourself today. This is what you've been waiting for, is to find the freedom that you can so your money's going to last until your last breath. Grateful for your time. See you in the office and right back here next time on Wealth by Design.